Welcome back to another episode of the Everyone's Different podcast. I'm your host, Tristan Jass, with my co-host,
Young Trench.
Yes, sir. We have a very, very special guest tonight. Someone who is very motivational, very humble. My guy, Henry, right here. Welcome, man.
Salute, brother. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yes, sir.
Of course.
Great guy right here. Done a lot of workouts with him. I mean, we've been through a lot together, I would say, over the past, what?
Two and a half.
At least
Since
three.
I
At
was
least
high-
like 3-4 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fresh out of high school, probably, yeah. I mean, if we really go back, yeah, you're talking 16, 17.
Yeah.
Before he was touching the mills on the followers and subscribers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for real. I think this guy, Henry, right here, is my brother, man. He's one of the most motivational people I've ever been around. You own your own training company, right? Where
Yeah.
you train people pretty much daily.
Yeah. So I'm owner of a fitness, LLC. It's called Blessed Fit, Iron Faith, Yeah, just,
Why Blessed Fit?
I mean, with all due respect, I put my faith and I feel blessed because I am a man of God, a man of faith, I believe in a higher power and
Yeah.
we're not here for no reason. I don't believe we're here because some comet hit the earth. No disrespect to science. I believe in science to the fullest, 100%.
Yeah.
That science is real.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I believe there's a higher power and there's more to what we can see and know. And you know what the definition of that is? It's faith.
Mm-hmm.
Having faith in something, everything's going to be all right, even though you don't know if it's going to be all right in life or something like that. But again, get back to the topic. That's the definition of faith. So I keep strong faith.
Yeah.
So circle back. That's so I branded myself off of my faith, which is Blessed Fit. One day I was just, at home daydreaming, like, what's me, You can come up with all these names that kind of that come off the tongue, right? That, fit the mode of whether it's fitness or just general life. But at the end of the day, my heart was calling literally like to be true to who I am, what got me this far in life. And it was my belief in God and faith and just feeling overall blessed.
Yeah, and you're repping the Iron Faith right now
Yes, I am.
on the
Says
hoodie.
blessed on it. Let's get it.
That's
Yeah,
what's
exactly.
up, bro. That's some
Yeah.
real shit right
It's
there.
as real as it can get because that shit come from the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's
real,
what it is.
bro. That's crazy.
So I kind of wanted to talk about how you guys met. I don't personally know the story or anything, but
how me and Henry met.
Yeah. I don't know the story.
Man, me and Henry, man, we go back to what, probably like when I was figuring out if I was gonna play college basketball or pursue what I'm doing now.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I would catch you at the local rec center where I work out and where you work out.
Right.
And what happened? I think you were on a treadmill.
Yeah, so I got a deeper story about that. I met his older brother, Tyler. We both trained out of the same gym called Charter Fitness in Kenosha, which is now closed down. It's like a medical building now. Fast forward a couple years later, I had heard about his YouTube video that he had like crossed his local high school teacher.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up on I believe he ended up on Sports Center,
Everything.
stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Everything.
It just blew up. So I heard about it. I always knew from what I heard about him that he's going to be something.
Mm-hmm.
This kid's got a good work ethic, and that's what it takes. Pretty much Mamba mentality. I'm going to do whatever it takes. If I got to get up at 4 a.m., 4 p.m., 12 a.m. at night to put the work in, that's what I'm going to do. And I kind of, related to that because, again, I started from nowhere too. And I know it just takes work, Is it easy? Is it hard? Whatever it is, it's got to get done.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like, before knowing him, I kind of related to him. Knowing him personally because, like I said, I've heard the stories from his real blood brother, what kind of work ethic he had and stuff. And I always, that's motivating, because I use everything for motivation.
Especially because he was probably super young at the time.
Yeah, especially hearing about a kid. Like you said, a young kid, 15, 16 years old, putting in this type of grind and will take no as an answer.
Mm-hmm.
No ain't an answer. So let's fast forward a little bit. I always spoken into into reality.
Yeah.
I always what's the word you use when you're trying to speak?
Manifestation.
Yeah, manifestation. Like before I even met Tristan, all bullshit aside, I am telling real facts here. Before I ever met Tristan, I literally used to tell my girlfriend at the time and other people like, he only probably had about 100,000, 150,000 followers on Instagram at the time, because that's when he was, like you said, making that decision if he was like, I believe his senior year was just ending, type of thing. And I knew he'll be something, 100%. But after I seen that video and this and that and his work ethic, knowing his work ethic, boom. But again, I always manifested, like, before I even met him, like, I'm going to be around him one day. One day we're going to work together. We're going to hang out. We're going to do things together. I didn't know what it was, but I know eventually it's gonna be big things, you know?
Yeah.
So, and that's the honest to God truth. Like, I honestly manifested, spoken into reality, you know? you got to speak things into reality. I believe in that, you know?
That's crazy.
You speak things into power. So before I ever met him, I was like, man, I'm gonna hang out with this kid one day. Even though I know he's like 10 years plus younger than me. Yeah. And this and that. I'm like, at the end of the day, when you're young like that, you need somebody on your side, though, at the end of the day, that has your best interest in hand. Yeah. That ain't trying to, use none of what you got going on for their best interest, or to further their interest. No, just somebody that's really, that's been through some things and can coach you a little bit,
And I give you props, though, because whenever, like, let's say we're going out to the club for the weekend, or we're going to Chicago, you've went to trips with us to LA, Vegas. This dude, Henry, always is watching my back. Like, no matter what shit that I don't even see, he's like, yo, T, step over here, man. Step aside. We got to chill out for a second. Like, thank you. Yeah. Because that's some real shit.
Yeah, also, that's what brothers do,
I feel like a lot of times, too, people that are older than us could see us and think what we're doing is kind of goofy. And they don't actually take it as a serious thing. So for you to see it as that is like... Yeah. It honestly is an intelligent thing, because a lot of people look at it as like, oh, they're just making money on YouTube.
It's funny because when Henry first started coming around a couple years ago, he really didn't have no idea about it. Yeah. But as you were around, you started to see like us filming videos, you kind of being in some videos here and there, like messing around, having fun. So would you say, like, when you first started coming around, like, not really knowing much about social media, did you think it was like a little weird, like, at first, being older than us and then like seeing this shit every day we're doing and now like turning it into like something huge? Like,
of course.
How was your perspective on that?
Yeah, my perspective was just like, always like, damn, do you have to do all of that type of thing? You have to go all out. Do you have to like do all this small stuff? And like you said, as being older, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, coming from where I come from, you skip a lot of steps. And I realized that you weren't skipping steps. No matter how small the step might have been or whatever the case may be, you were getting it done. Whether it was like the smallest little detail of on the court, the way you conversated with people, the way you dressed up, the way you just got ready for the most part. Again, you didn't skip no steps. Yeah. But for me, like you said, you guys were younger, but it actually showed me that you had a more of a, advanced mindset. Mm-hmm. And that goes back to, like you said, when we first met. So the first real conversation we really had, like you said, we were at the local rec center. The first time I really had a real conversation with Tristan, I was at the gym, supposed to only do like 10 minutes on the treadmill, which I do every day before my workout. Mm-hmm. I do a 10-minute warm-up so I can get my body warm, so I can stretch out, It just lowers the risk of injury.
Get the blood flowing. Prevention.
Exactly. Gets the blood flowing. Number one thing about doing cardio and stuff. Yeah. But anyway, I was supposed to do 10 minutes on the treadmill. Tristan gets on next to me. I'm like, hey, you Tristan Jass. I know your older brother, from one of the other local gyms, this, and that. I've been watching, I've been following your story. At the time, again, keep it real, he only probably had about 150, 200,000 like Instagram followers. Yeah. He didn't blow up yet, none of that extra stuff. And again, granted, like I said, before this, I had manifested that one day we're going to, whether it be best friend, be friends, be partners, be just be in each other's life, literally. Mm-hmm. Again, go back to what I had spoken on before, just having faith in some of this stuff, because I related to his work ethic and just being a good person, because not only that, I can tell from what his brother told me, just watching his demeanor and his characteristics in some of his videos, that's somebody I can relate to and respect and, and honor. He got morals, key word, morals, you know?
Yeah.
He wasn't nobody that he wasn't. He wasn't following clout or none of that extra stuff. He was actually just being genuinely him, and I loved it. And it was actually, and it's work. It's something that this world needed to see. These kids need to see, which is work ethic. Again, he wasn't skipping steps. I can tell. But again, fast forward to that moment on the treadmill. I was supposed to do 10 minutes. I ended up doing like an hour talking to him the moment he got on.
Yeah,
Went from 10.
I was stressed out, bro.
Yeah, you were stressed out.
I was like,
It was one of the toughest times in your life.
Yeah, he had like a 3-day window. Literally, I think it was
Yeah.
like a 3-day window.
Yeah.
3 days from now, he got to get on a flight. See, I didn't know none of this. I was supposed to do 10 minutes. He gets to telling me all of this stuff, and I'm just listening to him for sure because I can see it him, like he just said.
No,
Yeah.
Stress
I was
times.
stressed out, very like emotional. Like it was a hard time in my life because am I gonna run this social media business, or am I gonna throw away the social media business and go play college basketball and focus on doing schoolwork and hooping? And so basically, the conversation I had with Henry was, I was like, man, I don't know what to do. Do I go to college or do I do the social media videos? And I was just, I didn't know what to do that night. I was in my head and I'm like, I'm just going to go to the gym.
Yeah. And not only that,
And-
he was telling me like he had a whole bunch of outside influence. Obviously, when you're young like that, parents and older people don't see, like you said, I'm a little older. Nobody sees money in YouTube
Yeah.
or this extra stuff.
Exactly.
He's got a scholarship. He gets to go play basketball where he loves. They've been spending money his whole life to get him in all these different traveling leagues and stuff like that. So that's where the stress came, because obviously, yeah, he's stressed personally for himself, but obviously you love that as a young man, as a young boy, you want to do everything to like make it be successful for your mother at the end of the day, for your mother, your parents in general.
Your family, bro. Doing
Yeah,
it for
and
the
obviously
fam.
his he was telling me like his mother, his dad was like, obviously they didn't see no money in YouTube. They're like, you got to take the scholarship.
Yeah.
You got to take the scholarship. But when I was talking to him, I could see it in his eyes and his heart. He knew what he wanted to do or what he needed to do, what his heart was telling him to do, which is chase his career and all this content creating, YouTube stuff like that, put his passion out into the world instead of, letting the outside influence, whether it was your parents or other people trying to tell you this is the right decision, this is the wrong decision. I can tell in his heart, he knew what he had to do.
Yeah, and it's hard because like your parents at the end of the day, they are looking out for you, but
Yeah.
they just they don't necessarily know exactly what you want, and they have to try to protect you. So it's like obviously those outside influences get to you. And I remember at the time it was I don't remember anyone besides me really telling you like go with this. Like really go with this.
Henry told me,
Yeah.
I'll never forget it. He said, Henry's like, brother, he's like, follow your heart.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally, he's like,
Literally.
do what your heart is telling you to do. And I was like,
Yeah, I
man,
remember
no
walking
one's-
away, literally telling him that, like, bro, at the end of the day, follow your heart. Like, there's no ifs, ands, buts about it.
yeah.
There's going to be a million things pulling you other ways. Follow your heart.
And everyone that was older than you was telling you that you should go to school. So I bet hearing something like that from someone that was older than you was
Yeah.
like a big thing.
Yeah, and my dad was kind of with me
Yeah.
about my decision too. It was more of like my mom,
Mhm.
and my grandparents, the older generation.
Yeah.
Like obviously the older generation
They don't
believes
understand.
in going to get a college education and trying to get a job when you graduate. That's just the older generation, like my grandparents and shit. Like
Yeah.
that's what they grew up doing. So this whole new generation of social media and running like a full business was new to them.
Yeah.
So they really just didn't understand it.
Yeah.
And they did understand it when I brought them to
SneakerCon.
SneakerCon Chicago. I literally brought my whole family because this is after I decided not to go to college.
What year was that?
This was
18?
It might have been 17.
17? Yeah, it have to be one of them 2 years, I believe.
No, I graduated high school in 2018.
Oh, so it was 18.
I had to make the college. It was that summer that I was supposed to go.
So it was 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, what happened was I was like, all right, I just decided not to go to college. I need to prove to my whole family that this social media shit is real.
Yeah.
So I said, SneakerCon Chicago, I got hit up to play in a celebrity basketball game. I need to bring my whole family down there and show them what this shit is in real life. I bring my family down there. They see lines of kids coming up to me. Can you sign my shoe? Can I take a picture with you? Can you sign my shirt? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just remember looking up because my whole family's sitting in the stands watching me.
Mm-hmm.
I remember looking up at my grandma and her face was just like, holy shit. Like there's like 50 kids surrounding me freaking out. And it was honestly one of the dopest feelings I've ever had in my life. Cause like, not to say like I wanted to prove my family wrong, but like,
you wanted to prove that you could do it.
I wanted to show them, bro, that this shit was real.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, cause be honest with yourself. Like coming home and telling my dad, hey dad, I'm famous on the internet. Hey mom, I'm famous on the internet. I literally have said this before. Like my dad was like, yeah, shut the fuck up. Like,
yeah, pretty much.
Like what? You're famous on the internet.
Log out of MySpace.
Like you're not famous on the internet, dude.
Yeah.
Like you're crazy.
Right.
So for them to come and see this shit in real life was like,
that was like the first I made it moment.
Yeah.
It wasn't
even your hometown. You're like an hour plus away.
Yeah, we're in Chicago. We're in the city of Chicago. We're in, I think it was Schaumburg.
Yeah,
I want to say
that's Chicago. Center. Yeah, that's a suburb. That's right there.
But yeah, it was not to say like I was trying to like shit on my family, but I just wanted to show them, you know.
Yeah, you bursted their bubble. Like, yeah, I am really him.
Pretty much.
And that was hard to prove back then, because think about it. Content creators, and you're talking about 18 still, that shit wasn't even real to probably 16, 17. So you're talking, that's still in the first year or two of really it being a real thing.
Yeah, so
For
like
real.
So to be able to prove that early, that's huge.
Yeah, because I think like parents and stuff are probably more understanding about it now. If you're doing
you bring it up now, like you get it a little bit.
There's tons of creators. Everyone blows up on TikTok and stuff. But like at that time, it was really hard to like convince people that it was a real thing.
It was hard, bro.
You go to 17, 18, wasn't all these updates or none of this extra stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
Even our parent, my mom will sit on TikTok now for 2 hours in her day.
My mom will send me TikTok.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this is normal now.
And before she probably used to diss it.
That's what
like
I'm
literally
saying. Exactly.
Bro,
you're wasting your life away. Go get your degree. Be a doctor. Be a politician. Don't be a politician.
Yeah. No, this is all normal now. It's the whole world has changed. Our parents are with the times.
But for sure back then it wasn't. So I can imagine, like, I ain't gonna say scrutiny, but yeah, scrutiny. You know, some of the feedback probably wasn't the best. It can be discouraging. Like you're already in your own head. You're a 17, 18-year-old kid trying to figure out what to do with your life. You know, you got this, and you're making actually a little bit of cash doing this. But so you're torn, you know, you're torn.
And bro, you know how hard it is to just be a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
Either way, like no matter what, being a 17-year-old.
It was a lot, bro. I remember like.
And choose to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to do the wrong thing.
Of course,
these days,
the wrong thing is always the wrong thing is always more enticing.
Yeah, and more easier just to literally do at the drop of a dime.
Yeah.
It takes, like you said, a strong work ethic, time after time, days after days to do the right thing.
And it's a lot of faith, like you were saying. Like that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, you got to have a lot of belief in yourself.
Yeah.
For sure.
Believing in the shit that we're doing and not giving a fuck what anybody says or thinks about what we're doing, because the amount of people talking shit about what we were doing was ridiculous from my own hometown. And the same people that used to talk shit about what we were doing are the same people trying to come kick it with us. Same people trying to come right back, bro. And like, I'm sorry that I
trying to get on this podcast.
Like anything, bro. Like I don't want to put any names out there, but I've had people hit me, like the people that used to like make fun of me publicly, like on social media or in front of large groups of people, like hit me in the DMs and say, yo, hey bro, I'm dropping a new song this next weekend. You think you could help promote it? Like, bro, what? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, so I don't know. It was wild, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and for you to be able to, you'll ground yourself around that, because as 17, 18-year-old, it's hard for a 30-year-old like myself to be able to, take criticism and not react to it, let alone 17, 18. But make a long story short, when I said I was manifesting, thinking about all this, like, we're going to be around, because at the end of the day, I've always been that type of person, Oh, no, but the point I was trying to make is that takes a lot, and I've seen a lot in him to be able to, curve a lot of that. You're 17, 18 years old. When I first talked to him, thinking like a 35-year-old.
Yeah.
That's why I would like his characteristics, his demeanor. Like, he shook that stuff off. You use that as motivation, more motivation. Like,
Of course.
you think I can't make this shot? Guess what? I'm gonna zone in even more, and I'm gonna make it all net. It ain't even gonna hit the rim type of mentality.
Yeah,
and that's what I loved about him. Truthfully, it wasn't about the YouTube, the Instagram. 'Cause I don't even think I was on. He was even on YouTube then in 17, 18. It was more Instagram.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I wasn't even thinking. I just seen the mentality in him, and I was like, yeah, he's far beyond his years. Because a lot of kids, like, making those tough decisions, got your whole family telling you need to go to college, you need to take that scholarship, and then but your heart's actually telling you need to do what you got a passion for, which is feed the streets, feed the internet, feed like the people that are following you that got the passion of basketball and just entrepreneurship and creating your own brand. So yeah.
100%. Yeah, and people don't even know, bro. Like, that the phone call I had to make was one of the craziest.
Yeah, you told me that like 2 days later after we talked.
So I was already committed to a school in Arizona.
Literally.
And I talked to you 3 days before I was going to hop on the flight.
Yeah.
I called the college coaches on a 3-way call, head coach and assistant coach. And I'm a loyal person. When I I was already committed to this school, bro. When I commit to doing something, I try my best to do it, because that's just that's a loyalty thing. That's like, I committed to doing this, already signed the papers to go to this school, and I called them on a 3-way call 2 days before I was supposed to hop on the flight to go to college, and I told them I wasn't going. And I remember, like, sitting there, I'm damn near shaking, I'm damn near crying. My mom's right next to me. I can't even feel my body while I'm talking on the phone. And it was the hardest. I say this all the time. I tell everybody. It was the hardest decision I ever made in my life, but it was the best decision I've ever made in my life.
But the best decision. And
sometimes in life, you're going to have, hard decisions to make.
Yeah. Not sometimes, a lot of times.
Bro,
more times than not.
The hardest things that you have to do will usually have the best outcomes. That's just how it is.
Literally. And like, I wasn't really thinking like, all right, I'm going to take a risk, but like, you got to take risks, bro.
You gotta take risks.
Bro,
you have to.
It was a hell of a risk. We weren't even like big on YouTube. Like, it was, you had one video that did.
You gotta
good.
take risks, but they gotta be a little more like calculated.
Yeah.
You gotta have, I ain't gonna say a backup plan, because when you have, you got plan A and plan B. Plan B distracts from plan A.
Exactly.
So you actually got to go all in on plan A at the end of the day. But when he walked around, like I said, when we had that hour-plus long conversation on the treadmill, we actually walked away. He went like to the stretch area. I went to the workout area. I seen it in his arm. We had all the conversation. He can say he didn't know what to do as many times as he wanted to. I seen in his eyes. And again, the last thing we said to each other, I seen in his eyes. He knew what he had to do.
Yeah.
Which was chase his passion and his dreams.
Well,
he knew that tough call was coming up a couple days later.
I think you always knew the decision that you had to make.
We knew.
It was more of a just like, how the fuck do I do this?
How do I tell my family, my friends, my this, my that?
Honestly, bro, it was me manning up.
Yeah.
I had to grow a pair of balls.
At 17, 18.
Like,
wow.
I had to call them, bro. I was so scared to call the coaches 2 days before I'm supposed to hop on the flight and go to college and start practicing. Bro, it was fucking crazy.
That entire thing was you versus yourself.
Bro, I literally had to man up. I was so scared to make that phone call. And we did it, bro. And I felt.
But I feel like you said, what it was 48 or 72 hours prior to that phone call. I feel like, coming back to me a little bit, I believe that I gave you that peace, a little bit of that insight. Like, at the end of the day, you need to do what's best for you at the end of the day. Again, you want to do what your parents want you to do. You want to do what you think your future holds for you, whatever the case may be. But time is of the essence. You got to make decisions now, and you got to, a lot of them decisions are risk-taking decisions.
Yeah,
you're right, bro.
And you got to take them. You got to believe in yourself that you ain't gonna fail. You're gonna put in whatever work it takes necessary to complete the task or continue on your passion or whatever you choose. Your decision actually is. Your final decision is.
Yeah,
bro.
And look at 5 years later, we here.
I mean, yeah, and don't
And
get
the
me wrong.
arrow's still pointing up.
Don't get me
Yes,
wrong.
sir.
For literally anyone listening, it is very hard to chase things because, yeah, you want to make everyone happy. You want everyone to be comfortable. But at the end of the day, like, you have to be worried about yourself because
Yeah,
you're the only person that is going to live with this until you fucking die.
literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be, I want to say selfish without being selfish.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I don't even want to say, like, point blank, you have to be selfish sometimes.
You have to.
Skip that without being selfish. You have to be selfish in a humble way, which Tristan always had that type of, demeanor, that type of characteristics about himself. He's going to make the best decision for himself. He took everything in consideration. But at the end of the day, you're going to make the best decision for yourself, which we all should do at the end of the day.
Yeah.
People that straddle the fence, guess what they do? They straddle the fence till they're 80 years old. Next thing you know, they fall off the fence and they're dead.
Exactly.
Yeah, stop straddling the fence. Pick a side and go all in.
Follow your heart.
Literally.
Literally.
Follow your heart. Literally. Everybody's heart telling what they should and shouldn't do. We know, a lot of people think, oh, it's hard to make decisions. At the end of the day, if you sit back, a lot of times sit back in a corner by yourself or in your car or at home in your room, your heart's telling you what you should do.
Yep.
You know what you do. So you got to live with the decisions you make at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
it's just a matter of doing it.
Yeah.
And I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you can be anything you want to be. Yeah, can you be? But that comes down to you got to find your passion. You can't just think that you got to eliminate all the stuff that you know is not you. At the end of the day, when it comes down, when a lot of people throw out that word, you can be anything you want to be, parents and this and that. At the end of the day, you can, but you can't. You got to eliminate the things you know that ain't you, and then find a few things that are you. And go balls deep in it.
Yeah.
Literally. And then you can be all you can be.
See, and this is exactly why I love this dude, Henry, bro. So motivational every time. And Henry has trained me in the gym before. Like, we've worked out a lot. And every time we work out, bro, like, I feel so inspired and so motivated. Like, every time. Henry he doesn't, like, I've trained with a few trainers before. I've trained with professionals. I've trained with local trainers, whatever. Henry, like, pushes you to be, like, the best you can be every single workout. And I fuck with that. Like, I need that. Like, when I'm working out, I need someone to give me that extra push, and Henry does that.
I mean, bro, Henry is #1 hype man too.
Number one hype man.
Like he'll get you. Come on, T. You know he'll bring out that phone and say, you better go.
For real. But as much of a motivational dude this guy is, I think we got to talk about this real quick. I texted Henry earlier today. I said, hey, bro, do you want to hop on the podcast? This dude texted me the funniest shit. Hold on. I gotta grab my phone real quick. What did you say, bro? I said, you want to hop on the podcast today? He said, not going to lie, sounds a little intimidating. LOL, never done a video/podcast, but I'm not scared of failure or fear. So yes, I will. And that's why I love this dude, bro. He's not scared of fear, like, literally.
Yeah, because we transition back to just the workouts, to just everything, having a little bit. Truthfully, my idol, Kobe Bryant, having the Mamba mentality, willing to, put the work in, whatever it takes. Even like, I never put in no work for no podcast or nothing like that. Never did no practices of podcasting or nothing like that. But yeah, you just can't be scared of failure, Sometimes you gotta jump. I'm not going to say go jump off the Eiffel Tower or something. Like, don't take that out of context.
You got to leap.
But sometimes you got to take that. Yeah, because, like, like you said, I'm a trainer. So 90+% of my clients hit me up and they're scared. They never even been to the gym. They don't know how to work out. They fear this, they fear that. But truthfully, you got to take that first step. You have to take that first step. That first step, you hear it a lot, can be the biggest step of your life. And a lot of us, it is. You know, just like you from your YouTube, you taking that step, calling that coach, saying you have, you know, you're going to go a different direction with your life and stuff like that. You just got to step. And that's what it comes down to. A lot of people are scared. They're scared of failure. They're waiting for the perfect time, the way they look, the way they feel. Everything's got to be perfect. Guess what? That perfect time ain't never coming. You need to make that step. Whatever your heart is telling you to do, you need to do. Like, literally. For real. Like, you got to take that step. You got to start moving in that direction. And that can be, you know, if you want to be a writer, you got to start writing a little bit. If you want to be and reading a little bit, you know, it doesn't mean you got to read for 2 hours like professionals every single day. Read for 5 minutes. Here and there. See where that takes you. Write for 5 minutes, whatever the case may be. You want to be a professional, you want to be a basketball player or something, you don't got to be outside shooting J's for 3 hours in the outside or in a gym. Just go shoot a few J's. Go shoot a few shots, you know, and see where that takes you. Because at the end of the day, when you get a little sense of accomplishment, at the end of the day, that's going to push you to do it again. What it builds is consistency and discipline. There's no science behind this discipline and consistency. Literally, if you got a love or a passion for something, you do it every single day, like, you're going to make it. There's no ifs, ands. It might be in a week, a month, a year, 10 years from now, but you are going to make it. But you got to put the work in. There's no skipping steps.
Yeah, and if you do it every day for a long time, you're going to be great.
You're going to be great at it. And again, that goes back to the mama mentality. If you don't know what the mama mentality is, Google it. Look it up. It's Kobe Bryant. It's a lot of other people that put in a lot of work, you know. That's what it comes down to. Whether it's easy work, light work, hard work, moderate work, it's work that needs to be done.
100%.
So get it done.
And me and Henry talked about this a little before the podcast. Everyone waits for the perfect opportunity, but if you say that you're waiting for the perfect opportunity, you will be waiting till you're dead.
But but you have to prepare for that opportunity. You need to be ready.
You have to be ready, but there is no perfect time. The perfect time will always just be now. Just do it.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, you have to be ready. But like today, like you said, that podcast. Think I was ready today to do a podcast? No, I had a million other things I feel like I had to do. I had other clients. I had so many, like, whether it's, I ain't going to say responsibilities because I always commit to all my responsibilities, but I just had so many other things that I had to do going on in my life that at the end of the day, this is my passion. I love to sit here and talk to you guys. I like to further my brand, myself, my brothers, T. Jass, Trench. Of course, I want to be here for it all. So at the end, you gotta weigh out some things in life. You know, you gotta know what's worth it. I ain't gonna say what's worth it, but sometimes you gotta weigh out things to see what's the word I'm looking for here? When you got to weigh out your options, like when you got to do something, you got multiple things you can do, and you have to choose one. You
have to get your priorities straight.
Yeah, you have to prioritize things. Yeah. What's most important? My future is most important. This is where my future is. You know, furthering my brand, creating a stronger relationship with Trent, T. Jass, Ronnie, the rest of the guys. You know, that's a priority to me. At the end of the day, I got a lot of clients. I can always they always reschedule, so I can always reschedule with them. Or, you know, I do a lot of other things I had to do today. I can make up for it, you know, on other days and other times. Some of this stuff, especially coming from where I come from, this doesn't come all the time, where I get to sit down with a 3+ million YouTube subscriber and Instagram, you know, a good young up and coming artist like Young Trent. So yeah, I made this a priority over everything.
So you're a Kobe Bryant fan, but you're rocking the Bulls.
Yeah.
Cap.
Because where Kobe come from? Where his mentality come from at the end of the day? It came from Michael Jordan.
But you're from Chicago.
Yeah. I'm originally from Chicago, like not no suburb, not no another. I'm from Humboldt Park, which is the northwest side of Chicago, which is what a lot of people try to use these days, the trenches. Okay. Literally.
Yeah.
Gang infested, drug infested, come from nothing. Truthfully, I'm not going to hold it back. Like, my dad done beat a murder. He was in a case. In a gang before. Done beat a murder. I come up from them using drugs and everything. My parents being addicts and all this and this and that. Yeah, so I come from one of the worst areas of Chicago. So pretty much I come from nothing.
Yeah.
So
And created something of myself.
But
you
how?
know?
But how did like growing up in all that shit? Like, what was your mindset? How did you like how did you want to make it out of that environment?
1000%. The one thing that I took from all that is that I didn't want to be that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be that gang member. I didn't want to be that drug user. I didn't want to be all of that. A piece of shit. Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
Because that's what a lot of them are. They prioritize gangs and drugs over their kids, their family, their bills, stuff like that. So that's what truthfully the main thing I took. I looked at them like, I can never be that.
Yeah.
I can never be smoking that crack. To keep it real.
Yeah, no,
you know, I
for
can
sure.
never leave my kids by themselves without no food, no TV, no couch to sleep on. Because with all due respect, I don't hold none. I love my parents too. They were part of that. You
Yeah.
know, at the end of the day.
Yeah,
they were part of that.
bro,
I
shit like
love
this
them. I
happens.
love them as much as I would have loved them probably if they were rich too.
Yeah, yeah.
To this day, I love them to the fullest because I get it. I know drug addiction is real.
It is.
I know a lot of that stuff is real. Being a part of some shit like that, when people throw around, you're just part of your environment. You are what your environment is.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they fell for that. See,
Yeah.
that's one thing I told myself I wasn't gonna fall for that.
Yeah, no.
Point blank
I mean, a
period.
lot of people
Do
are
whatever it
product-
takes.
A lot of people are a product of their environment and
Product of
who
their
who
environment,
they
yeah.
grew up around. But there's those few people that are able to break through that.
Yeah, utilize it like you said for what the podcast is as motivation. I use that motivation like shit. I'm gonna go harder, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go harder because I'm gonna make sure I make it. But guess what? Not only again, it didn't make me envious or make me hate them environments or them neighborhoods.
No.
It actually wanted me to do better so I can come back because I know there was more kids like me
Yep.
that needed somebody, you know, to come back and be like, there is a way out.
Yeah.
You know, it's all starts here though. Because you're going to be around it. I'm not going to be around every day to motivate you. You're not going to have these athletes coming around giving out free turkeys every single day on Thanksgiving or free Christmas gifts.
Nope.
They're not going to be around every day. There's 365 days in a year. You're probably going to see 10 days of that. So you got 355 days of survival to go forth with and not get caught up in it and be part of it. So it all starts here. You know, you just stay humble. You don't have to, be a follower. You can be a leader. You don't have to choose to smoke that joint. You can literally, school is where it's at the end of the day. You should focus on your studies and stuff like that. That is the cool. Don't try to follow the cool kids. The cool kids is doing what they're supposed to do. Go to school, do their homework, help their parents, even if they are lagging. Whether they're doing the right thing or not, you should still be like a kid, like trying to help them because you don't know what they're going through. And I grant it, you're a kid. You should be able to be a kid still at the same time.
Yeah. No.
Sometimes you got to grow up faster than your age is.
And sometimes you're in an environment that forces you to grow up faster.
Yeah. You have no choice at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You either grow up, else, like you said, that environment is going to swallow you. And you see it. You go there now. It's swallowing 70, 80%.
Yeah.
8 out of 10 kids is getting swallowed. You better hold on for dear life to be 2 of them 10 kids that ain't being swallowed.
Well,
You
yeah,
feel me?
in a place like Chicago, a lot of
And
these
it's choices.
A lot of these kids in Chicago and shit, or just like places like that, a lot of these people are fucking hustling so that they can help their mom with the rent, do shit like that.
Yeah, see, I can honor that though. True, if you got to do what you got to do to help put food on your table,
Yeah.
I can honor stuff like, whatever it takes, again, to put a roof over your head, put food on your table.
Yeah.
But if you're just doing it because you want to you got this ego, you're trying to stunt, have the freshest clothes or this or that, or just trying to, like I said, stunt on other people and try to show that you're above other people, that's going to get you nowhere.
No.
And not even in life, which again, just overall you're never going to be happy with oneself. You feel me? Because you're always going to want more. You're never going to be thankful or have gratitude towards what you do have, which a lot of people don't have. Half the freaking world, I've had times, which is a roof over your head, food in your mouth. If you can just wake up and be thankful for stuff like that, you're bound to do great in other things, other areas of life. You feel me? Because you don't start really living until you start, living for others too at the end of the day. Yeah. We had spoke earlier, you got to be a little selfish for sure, because you can't pour water into a cup if you don't got no water. So you got to make sure you got water first for sure. But at the end of the day, you got to help out.
You have to care about other people. I mean, like even like in our situation, a big part of what he does, what I do, it's like we have to help each other out too, because like we want to see everyone win. That's This shit is not
Facts.
fun if you're doing it by yourself. It's not.
Facts.
You want to see everyone be successful. You want to see everyone at the top of this totem pole.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I'm the type of person, like, I want, you know me, Henry. I bring if I could bring everybody with me, I'm bringing everybody with me.
Bro,
everybody.
Even when we started this YouTube shit, bro, when it came to like filming and shit, I didn't give a fuck about a penny. Like I didn't need that shit.
We did it for fun.
I just wanted to see this keep growing. I won't take anything till this day, bro. This is just all about seeing everyone grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's fun though, man. We love this shit.
Yeah.
Like every day we wake up, it's something new. It's fun.
Yeah. And that's when we go back to what we were discussing earlier. You got to find a passion, you know. You got to follow your heart. I don't care what you say. If you be like, oh, I don't know what I want to do, this and that. Yes, you do. You're just either scared to say it or scared to act on it.
Or scared of failure.
Or point blank. That's probably the number one reason why people don't, succeed in life. Because they're scared of failure, bro.
You can't be scared of failure. Bro,
you can't.
Here's the thing. You might fail 30 times in your life, but like at some point, that shit's going to work out.
Yeah.
I'm a big person. I love to fail.
That's what I'm saying.
In real life, bro, I love to fail. I love to fail over and over and over so I could learn how to do something the right way or the correct way, if that makes sense. Like, when you take a L, bro, you're not taking a loss. You're learning from something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And this can be from something from others, whether you fail, you see other people's fail again. Like I said, I learned from growing up in the trenches in Chicago what I wasn't going to be. I wasn't going to be that drug user, a hard drug user, that person, that abuser that hits people. You're supposed to love people, but you're hitting them or whatever the case may be. Again, so you can learn from other people's failures at the same time.
Yeah.
And then you can succeed from other people's success.
That's
how you learn.
Hey,
that's how you really succeed.
I've learned early on, bro, and my dad used to tell me this shit, like, you are who you hang around with.
Yeah.
Like if you hang out with a bunch of like, you know what I'm saying, successful people. What did my grandpa say? My grandpa told me this shit before he passed away.
I remember it.
He said, you go hang around 5 millionaires, you're gonna be the 6th.
You're gonna be the 6th.
You go
and
hang
that's
around,
legit, bro.
You go hang around 5 bums that are chilling, doing drugs all day, sitting around, not being productive. You're gonna be the 6th bum. So it's up to you.
And that's the small mindset to the open mindset. The open mindset, like you said, 5 millionaires, I'm gonna be the 6th. Small mindset, 5 bums. This is just my life. It is what it is type of mentality.
Yeah.
No, you're gonna be a bum then.
You gotta go get that.
You gotta be realistic with yourself. You're gonna be a bum.
But here's the thing: you're never stuck in that situation. I think a lot of people think, "Oh, I've been down this shitty path. I'm fucked. Like I'm just stuck."
Nah, man.
You're not. Every single loss is a lesson.
No,
every single loss.
That goes back to, like you said, it takes a whole bunch of failures to succeed. You're gonna fail. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. You're gonna fail at things in life. You know, you're gonna make a lot of wrong decisions. And like you said, you're gonna beat yourself up mentally. Like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Oh, now I can't redo it, or I can't do it a different way. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
You better learn from how you messed up, and then pick yourself back up and try it again.
Bro, you gotta think, like, I've had certain songs that have done 5,000. I've had songs that have done 15,000. You've had videos, bro, they've probably done like 30,000. You've had videos that have done 20,000. In terms of failing, you just have to be able to take these losses.
Yeah.
Like if you're not if you're not willing to take a loss, then bro, you're never.
Then how are you gonna be a boss?
You're never gonna.
Yeah, but we all keep the mindset, like Tristan posted the other day, like a L is not a loss. You can learn from it.
Yeah.
It's a lesson.
Yeah.
So that if you take that out of it, you're bound to be something. If you look at it as like lost, it's over, it's done. It's over. I can't do it no more.
The world is ending.
You're gonna be shit.
Bro, literally, like this entire thing is going to be everything is a learning thing for every single person.
I mean, even this podcast.
Literally, bro. People don't see the behind the scenes. Bro, we fucked up a few times so far, but
definitely we're still learning. This is our first time doing a podcast, and we're starting from zero. We're starting at 0 subscribers, 0 followers on every platform.
Literally,
we didn't say anything before it came out. We pretty much just let everyone find out when we did it.
So that tells your followers, like, again, you can start from zero and go somewhere.
This is
You
literally
know,
this is
it
literally
doesn't
us
mean you need to
restarting.
start with a whole big following or you need other people to believe in yourself. Because truthfully, with all due respect, ain't nobody gonna believe in you. Ain't nobody gonna believe in you unless you believe in yourself.
Yeah.
And that's just the ground rules of it all. Like, until you get that type of mentality, that type of understanding of, like, you know, motivation and trying to be something in your life, nobody gonna believe in you unless you believe in yourself.
I think it's hard for people nowadays, especially younger kids, because everybody is talking shit about people online, and then you're scared to go to school the next Monday because everyone knows they're talking shit about you on Snapchat or whatever, and it's like, it's messed up, man.
Yeah, it is messed up, but yeah, like I said, you could take every diss, every failure as motivation. Well, I know it's hard sometimes, but show up. Like you said, if they dissed you at school, show up. You know, wake up a little earlier, freshen yourself up a little more, clean up your shoes, whatever it takes, and show up fresh, ready to go.
Yeah,
you know,
you got to turn your losses into wins every single time.
Yeah, literally. And while we're on this topic, tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary of when Nate Bronstein took his own life.
Yeah. Buckets over bullying.
Yeah, we started this charity with the family. Great family. I'm not going to say their names just out of respect, but I love this family. They're hardworking people, and what happened to them and their family is so sad. I just want to do everything in my power to help this situation out. But for those of you who don't know that are tuning in right now, there was a 15-year-old kid by the name of Nate Bronstein. 1 year ago, or a year ago, he took his own life due to his basketball team actually bullying him on social media. Come to find out, Nate was a huge fan of mine, and that's when I had my guy Paulie. You guys might know Paulie. You might not know Paulie. Chi-Town Paulie.
Trash talking old man.
He actually, a while before Nate took his life, Paulie surprised Nate with a T-Jass basketball. And Nate was like, oh my God, this is my favorite YouTuber. I love watching his videos. And when I heard that Nate was a fan of mine, like, it made me feel a type of way. Like, it was like, I need to go sit down with this family and figure out what the hell happened and how can we turn this horrible thing that has happened into something positive to try to save other people's lives.
Well, and it is so selfless of them to think to themselves, like, you know, this horrible thing happened with our family, but we never want this to happen to anyone's family again. It was such a tragic experience for us. We want to make this better for everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah. So regardless, anybody out there, if you're ever getting bullying or something, suicide is not an option. You should reach out. There is people that care about you and that will be there for you. You know, bigger people that love you and care about you, and outside of your school, your circle, whatever the case may be, there is people there that is in your corner. No matter how weird other people may seem or call you or think that you're nerdy or whatever the case may be, there is people that love you and that are on your side 1,000%. Because guess what? I'm one of them. I know Tristan's one of them. I know Trent's one of them. So again, suicide is never an option. There is people that do care about you and are out here for you, praying for you, and willing to help. You just got to reach out, you know. You can go far by yourself. You can be great with a team, and we are part of your team.
Yeah, and it's hard because I get that people can get into some deep places.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Deep down and
mentally, yeah, for sure.
mentally, and that, you know, is like, there might be people there for you, but because you're down so low, you might not think that.
No,
you might not even want them there for you.
Well, you might think the entire world is just against you. Everything is completely against you.
Yeah,
but that's one thing you can't give up. Even if you even want to be by yourself, you don't want the help or whatever the case may be, you can't get up. you can't give up. Because, I mean, go back to one of my idols that I listen to a lot that gets me out of a lot of hard, deep places. If you can make it through the night, there's a brighter place. Tupac said that. So, again, you just got to make it through them dark nights, them dark hours, you know, because there is a brighter day.
Yeah.
And
The sun will shine. Like, we live in Wisconsin. It's gloomy. It's snowy a lot of time. But we make it through because we know summer's coming. We know the sun's coming back out eventually.
Yeah.
So if you can make it through the night, there's a brighter day.
That's a good quote.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Wow.
Again, Tupac
I don't
said
think
it.
I never heard that.
Yeah, one of his most famous songs. Yeah, if you can make
What
it through
song
the
is
night,
that? Why do I
there's
know
a
that?
brighter day. It's one of the main songs. I know that. I know the song. I'm just on the spot right now.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah,
But for real, anybody out there that's tuning in right now, if you ever are in a low spot or you feel like there's nobody there to help you, reach out to one of us. Our DMs are always open. I get a lot of DMs, but I try to respond to people that, you know, are whether it's someone needs some motivation or needs someone to talk to.
I do it all the time.
But truthfully, like they called me on this podcast for moments like this. I feel for the simple fact is, you know, I was in a dark place at times, you know, and that's what you got to find an outlet, a positive outlet. Because if you're trying to just like figure it all out yourself or whatever the case may be, you ain't going to never have it figured out.
How do you find that positive outlet though?
Yeah, you got to find something you love. Again, what I'm on this one of the main keys we've been talking on this podcast, finding something that's in your heart that you have a passion for, that you like to do.
Yeah.
Again, whether it's reading, writing, going to the gym, bicycling, jogging, anything. Find something you like to do and do more of that.
Yeah.
Without worried about what the next person may think or say. Just do more of that. And I promise it'll get you through some of them hard times that, you know, you start second guessing yourself and your existence and stuff like that. But one thing you can never do, please don't ever give up.
Yeah.
Like literally.
Yeah, I was going to say that actually is a good segue into do you think you said you were in a dark place at the time. Do you think your journey through the fitness world has helped you with things like that?
1,000%. My fitness journey alone has more than likely kept me alive.
Really?
1,000%. Because there was times, you know, I was a young adolescent, you know. We talked about earlier in the podcast about, you know, where I come from, a lot of drug use and stuff like that. Never really used hard drugs, but I worked a 9 to 5, going nowhere fast. Like I always had like sports dreams and becoming a basketball player or a football player. And I ain't trying to be funny, you know, whether I stopped growing, my height stopped coming. Yeah. And, you know, let's be realistic. You got to be more than likely a certain height to be in a lot of these sports, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So a lot of them dreams, I ain't going to say were crushed. They just got cut short because I was realistic with myself. Like, yeah, I mean, no matter how much work I put in, it's going to be hard for me to make it. So I better start, you know, I need to get a job. Eventually, I became 18, 19, 20 years old. I had kids at a young age. I was 18 years old when I had my first daughter.
Okay.
So I knew I had to get a job. But, yeah, was it something I ever envisioned for my life? So at first, you know, I was making some money, so I didn't ever think about it. But a year or two into, you know, working in a warehouse, that shit starts taking a toll on your mentality. Like, my life sucks. You know, you start having, when you're sitting at work for 8 hours plus, you having hours and hours of dead time, and you're just talking to yourself within in your head, telling yourself your life sucks. What are you doing? This, and that. So then you start resorting to, you know, whether it's like drugs, alcohol, bad influences or stuff like that, stuff to take your mind, but you know that really ain't good for you.
Yeah.
So I dabbled in all of that. You know, I resorted to a lot of that, but then I caught myself before I sunk and drowned. I realized I need to find a positive outlet. And that's when I found the gym. I knew a few people going to the gym and stuff like that. I actually felt like my body was telling me I needed to do something more than just go work 9 to 5 and go home, lay down, eat food and stuff like that. So I started going to the gym. I didn't know what I was doing at all, nothing at all. But a lot of people that, again, I'm a personal trainer, so a lot of people come to me, and that's their big thing. They're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to the gym. With all due respect, 80% of the machines in the gym have information on it and tell you how to perform the exercise. So be realistic with yourself. You don't need nobody, but it's good to have somebody like me. So reach out if you ever need help. But at the same time, you can go in there, you can read the little information on it, the directions on it, and do the movement. And if not, 80% of the people started somewhere where you were at. So don't be scared to, ask for help, ask questions, ask for insight, because most people in there will help you because they all started somewhere. But again, the machine has the directions on it. You can watch other people do the movement, stuff like that. So started going to the gym, watching them do that. And again, it was a more positive insight. So when you go to the gym, it releases the number one feel-good endorphin within the brain. So when you're in the gym, you're just thinking clearer. You're thinking more smarter. When you're going through a lot of, turbulence in life, a lot of bad times, and you're just thinking negative, when you're in the gym, your body starts releasing hormones and just nutrients to the brain that just naturally make you think more more positive, more happier, You start finding positive solutions to negative thoughts. And that's just the honest to God truth. I'm not feeding no fake news to you. This is all fact, whether it's science-based. It don't have to be science-based. This is realistic stuff that happens when you go to the gym.
Yeah.
You have been to the gym. You have been to the gym. You never leave the gym regretting going to the gym. You never be like, why did I go to the gym? Why did I work out? That sucked. You never think like that. You always leave and you get a sense of accomplishment. You feel good about yourself. So what you start doing, you go home, you start being more productive in other areas of life.
Yeah.
You start doing more, you start checking off more goals and more tasks that you had for yourself. Because at one point you thought you couldn't do the gym, you accomplished that. So guess what? You start thinking like, man, maybe I could do this or that, and start accomplishing it. So it does relate to other areas of life, not just physically, but we're talking mentally, emotionally, spiritually, shit, even financially. Because you're not out spending, money on random things because you're at the gym, and all you want to do is go to the gym. Now, by the time you're done with the gym, you're tired. You want to go home, relax, eat some food. You ain't out spending money at the bars or stores, stuff like that. And it's just, and then you repeat that cycle, and you're bound to make it somewhere,
I liked what you said, because you said you'll never regret going to the gym, but you will regret not going.
Yeah.
That's something you'll think.
You'll regret
like,
going to the bar and getting, waking up hungover. You'll regret going to smoke that joint and then eating a whole bunch of crap and stuff and waking up feeling like shit, with all due respect. But you'll never regret going to the gym, going home, eating some healthy chicken, some rice. It don't got to be bland. A diet is not salad.
Yeah.
A diet is eating clean, getting your gallon of water in a day, eating your chicken, your rice, your vegetables, stuff like that. And then sometimes you don't always eat for flavor, you eat for like results, but you can still enjoy it.
Yeah.
But it comes down to proportion. Yes, you go home and eat a whole pizza afterwards. No. Can you? Yes, but you're going to feel it.
Yeah.
You're bound to feel it. That's the learning curve, because you're bound to do that.
Yeah,
you're bound to do that at times.
And then it gets addicting, because when we were lifting consistently, I don't even know when, like a year
about
ago.
a year ago.
Yeah.
We were in the gym, and it got addicting to me because I started seeing my body change.
Yeah, you see results.
I was getting ripped for a little bit. Like, it was crazy. Like, six-pack crazy. Muscles popping out crazy. I'm getting 5-and-1s a game in the men's league because I'm bodying people. You know what I'm saying?
And not only go, you get home. Again, the endorphins are still releasing. You come home, you're more productive than anywhere. You feel a sense of accomplishment. So you start checking off your task list, and you start taking more chances. Like a lot of things you think you couldn't do, you start putting a little more effort towards those, and you realize that you can do them.
Yeah.
What did you tell? Henry was telling me some funny shit one time. I think we had like a crazy like leg day, and he's like, "Oh man, you're gonna want to go home and smash your chick, man. You're gonna be You're gonna be."
Because not only does it release the number one endorphins, truthfully for males,
I didn't understand that. I was like, "What do you mean, bro?"
Our number one
like
supplement in our body is testosterone. You know,
Yeah.
and a lot of our testosterone lives in our quads and our glutes and hammies, which is all your upper legs and stuff like that. So when you utilize them, it stretches out the muscle fibers and it releases the testosterone.
Yeah, it
So
was
it's
just fun.
flowing through your body. And as a man, our number one sex hormone is testosterone.
You're going to be busting that move, legs shaking.
Yeah,
Nah, for real. Like, I'm already leaving the
so
gym.
not only will you
shaking.
feel good, your girl gonna feel good later that night, boy.
Hell
But
yeah.
that day, hey,
for
hey,
real,
make
though.
sure you're like possibly married.
I mean,
No, I thought that was funny when Henry used to say that to me, but he's speaking the facts.
Yeah.
bro.
That's the truth,
It's like,
yeah.
it releases that shit.
Yeah, and you would never know that until you really work it out, you know, until
Yeah.
you really take that chance, whether it's in the gym or whatever goal you got in life. You'll never know until you take that chance.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah, don't let me make it all sweet, like it's just gonna happen
No.
all the time.
You got to show up.
directly,
tough.
yeah.
It's tough.
You got to show up.
Yeah.
But I will say for anyone watching this, like older people, younger people, there is other things besides the gym that you can do that will
positive
that-
outlets,
that are
exactly.
going to like improve your mental
Yeah,
health.
this,
Like
this was just something
plenty
that
of things.
helped Henry.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, but for
because I
anyone,
found a passion. I found a passion.
As long
a
as you can
heart.
find that passion,
Yeah,
that's what matters.
Yeah, exactly.
Like your passion could be playing chess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play chess more.
Play chess more. Something for me that helped me get my emotions out there was music. Something for him is creation. Like there's things for everyone where you can just be able to get into the right mindset for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's got to be worth the sacrifice, you know. Like I said earlier in this, it's got to be calculated risk, you know. You got to take, but you got to make ends meet, especially as an adult.
Oh, of
if you're
course.
like 21 and over, you shouldn't only depend on your parents to take care of yourself, you know. You got to, because whatever you love to do, like whether it's chess, the gym, music, YouTube, there is a way to make money off of it, you know? So, and if you're waiting on somebody to come save you or show you the way, it's cool. YouTube's there. A lot of things are there to show you the way. But if you're actually really just sitting back waiting on somebody or something to come show you the way, you might end up dying before you find
You're
out.
talking about like waiting for a handout or
Yeah,
some
yeah.
shit.
If you're waiting for a handout,
You gotta make
that's
that
what
shit
it is. If you're
happen.
waiting on somebody to come show you the way and give you a handout, like you might be waiting the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So you got to start taking steps towards that, you know, towards the direction, because you never know who you're going to bump into. Like, look at me. I bumped into Tristan Jass in the gym randomly one day. We share the same passion of work ethic, grinding, following our passions, you know.
Yep.
And look at, 5 years plus later, here we are.
But the reason that you guys met was because you were already following your passions. It wasn't. It didn't just show up to you randomly when you were fucking sitting on your ass at home. It showed up to you because you were doing
working.
the right thing.
And nothing wrong with sitting at home, but at the end of the day, you got to get out.
You
have to get out. You got to be open. You got to be, you know, be willing to, you know, have some conversations with people. You know, I grew up always hearing the word like a closed mouth don't get fed.
Yep.
And I never got that saying, because truthfully, up until now, you guys would probably never believe it. But up until I was like 21, 22 myself, I was always the more humble, quiet type. I really didn't speak first. I really didn't, you know, approach others. I always sat back, listened, and learned for the most part.
Yeah.
But then, once I reached 21, 22, I realized, if I want, like when I was working in the warehouse, if I wanted a raise, guess what? I had to go ask for that raise.
Yeah.
Because they were never going to give me the raise if I just kept being humble, quiet in the back corner.
You had to put yourself in uncomfortable situations.
Uncomfortable position. Yes, because you're never going to grow in your comfort zone.
Yep.
So I had to speak up. So again, make a long story short, a closed mouth don't get fed.
Nope.
You got to be willing to speak up, but you got to do it respectfully and morally. There's a way, like, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. If I would have went there like, give me a fucking raise, they would have probably been like,
Hell
you're fired.
no. Yeah.
But I went in there like, hey, I've been working here for like 2+ years. I'm here every day. I'm on time. I see some of the same people that's doing what I'm doing, making $5 more than me. I think, you know, I deserve a raise, something like that. Next thing you know, an hour later, I had a boss walking up to me with a $3 raise. And truthfully, a lot of people was like, you should have been done that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've been working probably a year when I could have had that.
Were you scared to do that?
Of course.
Yeah.
Nervous as hell, because again, I was a quiet type, but I realized eventually you got to grow up.
So that goes to show people you need to
Get out of your comfort zone.
get out your comfort zone. That is what it is.
just do it.
Yeah, just do it. Yeah, you don't grow in your comfort zone. 1,000%.
You
Transitioning
literally-
back to the gym, or your comfort zone would have been like, let me listen to my parents. Let me go play this basketball at this college, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But you went out your comfort zone and was like, I'm gonna tell them some words, some words they don't want to hear, which is, I'm not going. I'm gonna do what my passion's telling me to do. My heart's telling me to do.
Yeah, but even like in high school, I was always super quiet. I kept to myself, headphones in, walking in the hallway. I had to learn like how to talk to people.
Yeah.
I like high school, bro. I was scared to raise my hand to ask a question in front of the class.
Yeah.
Because I was so worried about if I was gonna look stupid or not.
Right, look stupid, fumble over your words, but can't be scared.
And now look, we're selling out high school gyms doing
to talk.
to
say
the
those
shit.
same words. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Don't get me wrong. It is a hard thing to do. Like, I mean,
It's hard.
Sometimes I even struggle, like, looking people in the eyes while I'm talking to them. Because
Yeah.
it's just, people have
You
anxiety
gotta
and stuff.
learn. You
But
gotta
it's
learn.
just something that you learn.
And
You
that's
gotta do it
repetition.
over.
Again, go back to the Mamba mentality. It's repetition after repetition.
Mm-hmm.
You got to put in what we were speaking on earlier. You got to put in the work. You can't take the shortcuts, because if you try to take the shortcuts, you're coming all the way back and then going back the long way.
Yeah.
So you actually make your work double as hard as it should have been if you would have just took the long way from the gap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't take the shortcuts. In life, really put the work in. There's no cheat codes to this stuff.
Yeah, I got to go back to what you were saying about how you asked for a raise. One of the best things in life because I was once scared to ask people shit, like in high school, like I said. I would see my grandpa. We'd be out to eat or something, and he would always ask for his senior discount and his military discount every time, no matter where we went. And I'm like, why is he always asking this shit? Like,
Yeah.
who cares? Like, this is me as a young kid, and I always asked him growing up. I'm like, why do you always ask for that? And he's like, because if you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Closed mouths don't get fed.
damn.
That's literally what he was talking about.
Closed mouth don't get fed.
And it goes right with that. It's crazy because and now like me, like I was once that scared kid to ask questions. I'm hanging out with people who have $100 million and I'm asking them questions, and I'm not scared because I know if I want to learn some shit, I need to ask.
Yeah.
Because if I don't ask, I won't learn it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because again, you can go far by yourself, but it actually 1,000% takes a team to be great, to make it somewhere. And even if you don't got a team right now, that's where it comes down to going back to what we were saying. Closed mouth don't get fed. It's okay to get out there, put yourself out there, and meet new people.
Yeah.
You never know who you got what in common with. It can be the person you think you have nothing in common with.
Yeah.
That actually can be one of your closest friends.
Well,
confidants.
That's like, bro, I would have never thought I had anything in common with this kid. Like, I didn't play basketball. I didn't do anything.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Like, I would never have thought anything. And we didn't have a big team at the beginning either. It was just me and him filming on his cell phone. So, like,
beautiful.
If you can just get, like, one person maybe with you and you just come up with these things together, you can just plot for the future and put that shit to action.
Yeah, because again, go back to it again. You just brought up a reference about you guys had nothing in common. Again, remember
Mm-hmm.
earlier in this segment, I had brought up that I used to speak into existence like I'm gonna hang out with Tristan one day. I don't know how or why we would be hanging out or being friends like that, but one day we will. I just feel it. I have faith in it. I feel it in the universe. And my girlfriend used to be like, how? What do you guys got in common?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, one thing, I love his work ethic. Again, I know he's going to go somewhere, and I know he's going to need, I'm not an OG, but I know he's going to need somebody older that he needs there to guide him, to give him a few words, to keep his mind on the right things, and have somebody that really has his back with no other interest involved in it,
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So that's what it comes down to.
It's very important, like your circle.
Yeah.
The people around you. That's one thing I've learned. It's so important, bro.
Yeah.
Like your circle, you have to have the right. I just don't let anybody come into this circle.
No.
You can't. Especially in my situation, I've had people come around try to use me to do. You know
to
what
further
I'm saying?
their
to
thoughts
get
or-
views
Just
on their
for
shit.
their
like-
own personal benefit. The goal
there you
is
go, there you go.
the goal is that you need to all benefit each other, not like, hey, I'm here so you can only benefit me. You need to all benefit each other. That's the whole point of growing as a team.
Yeah, but with Henry though, it didn't feel like that.
Yeah.
It was like, man, this like work ethic, both had the work ethic.
Yeah.
And ever since I met Henry, he's had the best interest for me.
And you guys grew with each other.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you should always bring something to the
Henry's
table.
been growing, bro. He's got how many clients are you working with now?
Yeah, too many to count. Still counting some up as we speak.
Bro's been
But yeah,
growing in
probably
muscle
like
too.
technically right now like 18 clients, and truthfully, I mean, I started off with 1-2 clients. Like, is this really gonna work? And like you said, I mean, 2 years into a business, a lot of people start to fail. or be discouraged. And I've went through months too where 1 month I'm at my highest, like I said, working. Like right now, obviously it's January, it's the new year, a lot of people are in fitness, so I'm working with like 18 clients. But you go back 2 months ago, I was working with 4. And I'm like, dude, I don't know if I got kids to feed, this ends meet, but I wasn't, I wasn't discouraged because I always knew this is what I love. This is my passion. So I'm going to do whatever it takes to make this work. But at the same time, if I got to do something else in the meantime, create multiple streams of income, I'm going to do that. You know, I know people that own multiple different businesses. If I got to go unload trucks to make some extra money, I'm going to do that. If I got to go, shovel some snow to make some extra money, guess what? I'm going to do that.
Whatever's going to allow you to continue doing your passion, even though sometimes you got to do the shitty stuff.
And I did all of that.
Yeah, you do.
Like I said, you guys, they don't even notice that. You guys just look at it as, oh, he doing this training. You guys didn't know I've been moving people, shoveling snow, all this extra shit on the side to make extra income to, make up for a lot of that stuff. But I don't know if you want to call it sacrifice. I'm just going to do whatever it takes,
Yeah.
Because you got to do different things. The podcast is called the Everyone's Different Podcast. You got to be willing to do different things outside of your comfort zone. It's the only way you're going to make it. And again, so if you're a little shy person, or if you don't communicate well, or if you get you're a little more on the timid side, you got to be willing to open up. Point blank. Yeah. Especially if you're 18 plus years old. Like the younger ones, you still got time to figure out your life and stuff like that. But if you're 18 plus years old, you got to put yourself out there. You got to put yourself out there and be willing to open up a little bit, But be realistic with yourself. Be smart. Use your brain. You got a brain for a reason. You got to know what's for you and what ain't for you. And you got to be able to get out quick, and adjust, Life, you got to live life on the fly sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, sometimes you genuinely do have to do the shit that you don't want to, even because here's the thing, you can't always just bank on this one thing. You can always focus, you can always do your passion, but sometimes you just need these other things to have this income that allows you to live the life you want.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's very important to understand, like, it's okay to, like, be different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
be different, do something different, what the norm is doing. Like all the guys I grew up with, like I said, truthfully, they were gangbanging, selling drugs, doing all this extra stuff. But I was like, no, I need to get a job. I got kids. I need to do something different because guess what? I seen them doing all that. Next thing you know, they're in jail wishing that they can get an 8-hour job because they're working in jail for 8 hours for 50 cents.
Yep.
So I was like, I got to adjust. That's all it's about. It ain't about you got to change your whole life at the drop of a dime because that's not realistic here. You got to be realistic with yourself and just make them small little adjustment stuff. If you're struggling with money, there's jobs out there. Go fill out an application, get a job, and start climbing your way back to the top. Put in the work that's necessary.
Yep.
Again, you got a passion, start studying that, start researching a little bit. We got all the information at the tip of our fingertips. You can look up in Google, and truthfully, YouTube is a small little university. You can learn anything you want, truthfully, on the fly. But you have to really dedicate yourself. What's the other word I'm trying to look for? Like, you have to really
lock in.
Yeah.
Ground yourself.
Yeah. You have to lock in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And reading is a virtue, Staying real is a virtue to yourself and to others, Loyalty is a lost virtue. You need to stay loyal to the people that are loyal to you,
So, Henry, you said you had your first kid at 18 years old.
Yes.
Damn.
And how many kids do you have in total right now?
I have 3 kids.
3 kids.
Yeah.
So you had your first one at 18. How was that, just being, an adult,
Barely having your own life figured out.
Yeah. And that's the thing. 18 years old, it's hard to describe because, the first 2 years, I wasn't the best for the simple fact I felt like I was 18 again. I touched on earlier in the podcast. I come from, a lot of bad areas in Chicago. My dad in and out of jail. So when I had my first kid at 18 years old, truthfully, I feel like I was still looking for my father, let alone being a father.
Yeah.
So it took a year or two of just a lot of ups and downs, not only just in the world wise, just emotionally, just trying to figure everything out. But about when I turned 20 years old, something snapped in me, because I did catch I caught a marijuana possession charge in Wisconsin. The state of Wisconsin, it's a very illegal, especially at that time back in 2009,
for
10.
For sure.
So so they tried to put me in jail and everything for it, and it was a very small possession. It was literally a the roach of a joint.
Damn.
And they literally were threatening me like to go to prison for this shit because make a long story short, it was like my third time getting caught with a roach of a joint.
Yeah.
So make a long story short, they were threatening me with jail and all this extra stuff. So that kind of woke me up, you know. I realized like, damn, I can go to jail for this stuff. I'm a kid. Again, earlier in the podcast, I said, growing up where I come from, I realized that what I didn't want to be, and one thing I didn't want to be is like a missing father, a person that wasn't in my kid's life.
Yeah.
So the first 2 years, again, it was a lot of trials and tribulations. But then 2 years in, I caught that little charge. I was like being threatened with jail and stuff like that. So I kind of woke up and realized like I need to wake up. I got a kid. I got other people depending on me. I just can't be just living for myself, you know. So yeah, that's when I transitioned to like I need to get a job. That's when I got a good warehouse job, stuff like that. So yeah, I had to grow up.
Yeah.
Really quick.
Really fast.
Really quick, you know.
Wow.
Had to start buying diapers and clothes and stuff like that. But make a long story short, I want to say my kids saved my life. Point blank, period. I would be in jail or dead or in prison if it wasn't for my kids. 100%, because I won't lie, I was a follower. You know, I was following a lot of the influences, a lot of the things I said. Go back, doing a lot of things I said I wouldn't do when it comes down to like using drugs like marijuana and stuff like that, running with a lot of street people. Stuff like that. A lot of things I said I wouldn't do. Again, I was still somewhat influenced because that's all I seen. That's all I knew. But in my heart of heart was telling me like, that ain't you. You need to adjust. You need to move out of this. Got a job. Found a passion in the gym. Moved on with my life. And here I am. Personal trainer. Making a great living. Doing what I love. Being able to provide for my family. Making double, triple than what a lot of my friends do that work in warehouses. Yeah, and I got a lot of good people in my circle. Met a lot of good people. But I all relate that and put that towards my faith in God, my belief in God, and just, you know, my faith in general, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't give up on myself. So that's why I go back to what I was saying earlier in this podcast is never give up, you know. There was a lot of times where I should have gave up. I could have gave up. I had a lot of reasons to give up, but I didn't give up because I always knew if I can make it through the night, there's a brighter day. Baby Tupac said it.
Yes, sir.
Damn.
Hell yeah. Well, shit. I mean, we've already been here for an hour. I think we've talked a lot of about a lot of cool shit. A lot of.
I think there's more to come though.
We might need a part two. We might need a part two.
We might need a part two.
Ain't no might.
I feel like if I wake up in the morning and I was listening to some of the shit that you were saying, I'd be motivated. I'd be ready to go.
Yeah.
Like, get me in the gym. I want to go to the gym right now.
Get up and let's get it.
Let's go.
Let us know if you'd like to have Henry on again. We would love to do it.
But that's every area of life.
We had a great time.
Yeah, let us know. This is the Everyone's Different podcast. I'm Tristan Jass.
Young Trench.
I'm Henry.
And make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. We will see you guys next time. Peace.
Hey!